Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Now behind me I have this lovely 2014 Maserati Ghibli S for a review. So let's hit the intro, do the cinematics and get on to this review of this beautiful Italian job.
Came back with a click clack, and a ting that's it, that's fresh like a tic tac. Any pagan ops that I ripped out.
Right, we're going to start off at the front of this vehicle. Aggressive front bumper with the big grille. Obviously that's been wrapped in black with a few other bits on the vehicle. Sensors either side. We've got the lights, LED lights. Obviously it's got the strip here, and these are obviously the indicators. They mimic the air duct on the wing. Moving on to the satin black 20-inch alloys. We've got Brembos all around. Obviously this car needs it. Now if you look at the size of this vehicle, it is the baby version of the Quattroporte. Like I said, some bits have been wrapped. Door handles have been wrapped. Window surrounds have been wrapped. Moving on to the back end of this vehicle, we've got a bit more wrapping going on, and also the quad exhaust tips at the bottom, which absolutely sound lovely. So let's head on inside the car and we'll show you what we've got there. Right, so obviously inside the car we've got leather interior. We've got the red and black, which I think looks really good. It's a very good combination. We've got a bit of carbon. I don't know if that's genuine or not. Steering wheel as well, which is quite nice. Space in this car. See, this car gets compared to the E-Class, the 5 Series, the A6. It's not too bad, but let's go to the back. And talk about space. I don't think it's brilliant, to be honest, but I do love the red interior. I've got to say it does look really nice. The front seats as well, jumping to the front, are actually really nice and comfortable. So I've got to say the Italians are not where the Germans are, but it's quite nice. Talk about the heart of this car. Now this engine is a Maserati engine made by Ferrari. How cool is that? You know, you've got a Ferrari engine in there. The engine has been made by Ferrari. It's a V6 twin turbo. Now let me give you some numbers. bhp is 404. Foot-pound of torque is 405. It's got an 8-speed automatic gearbox, a top speed of 177 miles per hour. Doesn't it sound nice? Now before I go on to the drive, I want to talk about a few things. First of all, the volume controls, which are quite annoying, are at the back. You wouldn't know that, would you, until like you've been told. Like I didn't know that the volume controls were at the back until somebody told me. There's no controls on the wheel itself. You've just got the cruise, and I think that's for mobile phone. The other annoying thing about this car is the gear stick. Like, you want to put it into drive, it goes into neutral. Park is park. reverse. But sometimes it's just annoying because, you know, like I said, you want to be in drive and it goes into neutral. You want to be in, you want to put it into park and you're in reverse. So it is quite annoying. The infotainment system is actually quite basic. If it's not broken, why fix it? So yeah, you've got heated seats, you've got all your climate control down here, you've got obviously the traction, manual, ice is now the valves are closed and it's just a more eco. And then you've got sport. Let's give you a listen. Which open up the valves, stiffens the dampers, stiffens the steering, and makes the drive a lot more fun. Doesn't this car just sound so nice? Now I'm gonna be honest with you, the car isn't stopped, so the owner has done a res delete, if I'm correct, and that's why it sounds the way it sounds. We're in sport, so the valves are open, and let's just enjoy the sound. In between 3.5 and 4,000 revs, it sounds absolutely amazing. Let's downshift. Oh yes. Obviously you've got your flappy paddles and they're quite big as well, so you know, they're not small, you won't have a problem. But just the way the car sounds under load, obviously top end revs, it does sound a bit flat, I'm going to be honest with you, I won't lie, but low down and when you're building the revs, it sounds absolutely amazing. Let me put it into neutral. Right, so let's talk about how this car drives. We know how it sounds, and I would buy this car just for the sound and just to say that, you know what, I've got an engine that's been made by Ferrari. But putting that aside, I think the gearbox, obviously the problem I showed before, that's there. The gearbox high up in the rev range is actually lazy. When you want to enjoy the car, you know, obviously you can shift up manually, but just when you know, cruising along, it's just lazy, it doesn't shift. I think brand new, these cars, when they came out, they were about 60 to 80 grand, depending on what model you got and how you spec it. I think the steering wheel is pretty basic. You know, Maserati, you expect a flat bottom steering wheel. I think it's really chunky. It is quite light, and the feedback is not there, I'm going to be honest with you. Other than that, it's a nice car. Space wise, I think it's pathetic. If you're comparing this to an E-Class, A6 and the 5 Series, they've got a lot more space. I think this just doesn't have space at all. Right, so if we talk about build quality, like I said, infotainment system, the dials are quite nice. You can see them even at night, they're very clear. So I think they've done a good job there, but you can't beat the Germans. Obviously it does rattle here and there, you know, they are plastic bits in the cockpit. But besides that, like I said, brand new, it's an expensive car, you'd want more. I'm gonna put it into ice, and obviously you will hear the difference. So if we put it into ice, the valves are off, the car is a lot quieter. You know, this car is a wafter. It's not a car you can drive every day. It's not a car you can throw into corners. Put it into ice because it's a bit more quieter. Let's do this summary. I think the car does look really nice. The way, obviously, the owner has put his own touches to it, it absolutely looks really, really nice. It's finished off in this lovely grey as well. Now, the car is valued anywhere in between, I'd say, 11 to 15 grand. And 11 to 15 grand nowadays is not a lot of money, but would you buy one? Personally, I'd buy the first generation C63 because you ain't touching that machine. But this Italian job is actually not bad. Yeah, it needs more space, flat bottom steering wheel, it needs a little few tweaks here and there, but overall it's a nice car. It's not something I could daily, it's not something you can throw around. I'd personally get maybe a 530D. I know it's a diesel, but I think a 530D is something I'd go for. It looks really nice, but it's not something I would buy. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the review there. I hope you guys have liked this review. We all love the way this sounds, so I'm gonna give you one more rev and we're gonna call it a day. So let's go, guys. Take care, and I will see you soon.